Okay, so then thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. I really do appreciate this. So, this webinar is going to be all about chatbots. This is Chatbot is mainly an interface to an robotic automation that's going on in the back end. So, we are going to see as to how these chatbots can actually help the small and medium companies who do not have the financial resources or the technical bandwidth to actually implement sophisticated technologies of AI and ML based technologies in their stores. So, with that, let me get started with this webinar. A little bit about me. I'm DJ Das, founder and CEO of Third Data. I've been doing this for some time now. I've also been an investor in various big data startups here in the Bay Area. Also, I run a meetup group called Big Data Cloud, where we have an opportunity to evangelize about all the big data cloud computing and AI technologies. So now, quickly talking about what exactly are we trying to solve here? What is the problem that exists in the market today? Actually, the word chatbot has kind of developed a bad connotation in the business today. That's typically because chatbots are not very functional as how you see them today. Most of them do not actually answer all the questions that you have. They can only answer when you click on a button and it responds to you with a specific answer that's actually associated with that button that you've clicked on. So it's not really a chatbot. It's more of a kind of a rule-based something which can answer questions based on what you click on. There's no intelligence. There is no intelligence there. There's nothing that's at the back end that's actually understanding what you're saying and actually chatting with you. So the current day chatbots are not really chatbots. They are kind of click bots or whatever you might call it, but definitely they are not chatting with you. In terms of technology, they're like pretty much kind of version 1.0 of the AI technologies where they don't even deploy such technologies. They do not integrate with your backend because they don't have the ability to. It's purely an web-based interface that's actually being shown to you in a smaller chatbot manner. But we humans are a chatty lot. We love to talk. It's just who we are. But businesses can now actually comply to these natural tendencies of humans to talk with AI chatbots. That's where the AI chatbot comes in. They are actually chatbots. They are not clickbots. People are very busy. They're getting busier by the day, and they want instant gratifications. They want answers now. When they come to your website looking for something, they actually don't like to fill up a form and get told that we'll get back to you in 24 hours, which is kind of stupid when you think about how the store visitor feels. They're on your website, they are looking for something on your website, they are trying to engage with you on your website, and you turn your back around and then tell them, come back later, or I will respond to you in 24 hours. That's just not a good experience of the store visitor. You could change all that. You could change all that using AI chatbots. AI chatbots are actually real chatbots. They actually chat with you. But how do they chat with you? That's because they do have a sophisticated natural language processing technologies at the back end, which actually understands the intent of the questions that you're asking to the chatbot, stitches together the sentence that you've asked, and then comes back with a very contextual response. To reach to this goal, there are many steps, and we'll go over that also as to how does an AI chatbot actually functions, how does it actually responds to you. What we did was we launched the chatbot, the AI chatbot, on our Shopify marketplace. So this is Shopify, and this is the AI chatbots that running on the Shopify marketplace. Uh, And it could be available to any store that's running on the AI, that's running on the Shopify marketplace, like this site that I'm showing you here. This is our own site, which is a demo site for all the various products that we're selling here. So what we tried to do here was we tried to distill things down in a simple manner so that a store owner doesn't get cluttered with too many things that a store owner has to do with the chatbot. First of all, we created something called templates. By that, what we mean is, now let's say you are a store owner, and let's say your immediate goal is to develop a lead list or people who subscribe to your newsletter or to your promotions and deals so that you could notify them on a regular basis, information about you, information about promotions, deals, and generally engage these people with your site. That's the main reason how they come back to your site when there's an engagement. Now, let's say that's what you want to do. So if that's what you want to do, then we enable you to do exactly just that. Nothing more, nothing less. That way you remain focused in your business objectives without having to get cluttered with all the other features that a chatbot can normally work on. So going out of the box, we have released these 6 templates. The first template enables you to get more subscribers for your newsletter. The second one will show promotional discounts to your store visitor. Third one will enable them to actually look up the order status. Fourth would remind them about abandoned carts. Let's say they come to your store, they are trying to buy something, and for whatever reason, they actually abandon the cart and they go away. But the next time they actually come over to your site, they get reminded automatically and they get told about what is it that they had done the last time and nudged towards actually completing the step of actually buying the product. Then comes the AI versions of the chatbot too, or the templates too. We can actually answer questions about your products. There has to be an AI model built behind this so that it knows about your products, it knows about the context of your products and everything else. And then there is something called goals conversion. That's a template that enables a store owner to set up the chatbot so that they can enable so that they could reach goals as per the chatbot's conversations with store visitors. I'll go into the details of each and every one of those so that you get an idea about how this all works. So right now we have, this is the interface. Now let's say this is a store and you are a store owner and you have installed many apps on your store. And let's say the Syra AI chatbot is one of those stores that you've installed. The first thing that you see when you actually land into the page is all the various templates that are currently available. You select one of those. Let's say in this case, you're selecting the template to get more subscribers. You do a little bit of a customization here where you say what the button should look like. And then you promote it, then you publish it on your chatbot. So since we already had a template published, we don't have to publish it again. You just refresh this and the chatbot will now have the abilities to enable you to subscribe. So you see here, we got a new button called click to subscribe. All that you do here is if you click on the click to subscribe, it just enables you to subscribe to that particular newsletter that is available currently. So this is the other chatbot that we had, which actually shows you the current promotions that are currently going on. You can then click on this button along with the code that will take you to the site so that you could buy that product. So currently in this case, there are multiple templates that are being enabled. The 2 templates that are currently available, kind of enabled, are these 2. You could see the details of those templates right here. And all the people who subscribe would be then available here, which you could download by clicking a single button. This is how you actually import the promotions that you have on your Shopify store. And then when you click on this button, you see all the promotions that you have actually described in your Shopify store. This is nothing but this is your Shopify store, and this is where you have actually uh, described the discounts that you have on your store. And now the chatbot has imported those promotions so that the promotions are shown to the user whenever they on the store visitor whenever they are on your website. So that's how what we have done is made it super easy for a store owner to actually understand and use anything that they need at that particular point of time without having to clutter them. I will quickly go over the other templates that we have here. This one is where I just showed this to you, where we have this promotional discount. This is an ability by which they can actually get an order status, um, reminding of the abandoned carts. But these are the most important ones where you can actually ask questions to a chatbot and it will come back to you with a relevant answer. For example, this is one of the websites where our chatbot has been implemented. This is the chatbot that we have here. Now, let's say you ask, there are two things you could actually use the chatbot with. One is you actually click on this and then you actually start asking questions. You can click on this button and you can ask asking questions. Or the other thing that you could do is you could actually uh, type the question and you can answer the questions too. So here what happens is when you type a question like, how do I pay off my tax debt? It actually understands what you're trying to ask and then comes back with a relevant answer. So the mode of engagement with this particular chatbot is two ways. One is clicking on the buttons, which is configured to answer back with proper responses. And the other one is where you actually type in some relevant question that you might have to ask. So this is how we make sure that when people are on your website, they are actually trying to engage with you. They are actually uh, coming up with they're actually coming up with relevant responses. This is how we are trying to change the whole paradigm as to how store owners or site owners have an ability to engage with the customers in real time as and when people are there on their website. One of the most important things of an AI chatbot is that it has a domain awareness. For example, let's say you are a doctor. Basically, it means that you have a domain awareness about the field of medicine. Let's say you're an engineer. Let's say that means you have a domain awareness about the field of engineering. So in the same way, our chatbot also gets trained based on the domain of that particular website where it's getting embedded with. For example, I showed you the text bot running on the site here. That was trained to understand and the domain of that particular site, which is tax related services. So getting to this domain awareness is the most important aspect of an AI chatbot. And what we have done is we have come up with out of the box modules that are that are specific to a particular domain. For example, tax is one such domain. I'll go into the details of all these other domains too. If you are a business person, the most important question that you always ask is what is a business goal that you are doing any activity for? And our chatbot actually enables you to do exactly just that. Basically, what it does is it helps you to it helps the store owner to set up a business goal. The business goal could be as simple as probably downloading content or maybe signing up in a contact us form. Whatever the business goal could be, the store owner can quickly specify the business goal. And then what the chatbot does is automatically it understands the content or the intent of a conversation. Based on that understanding, it will pitch in the right goal so that there's a higher probability of the conversation being led towards that goal. So, for example, if you had a business goal defined as downloading a particular content which has got more details about your services. Then, when an actual site visitor is having a conversation with the chatbot, and if the conversation's main intent is getting to know more information, then the chatbot will automatically introduce a new button in the conversation, which would say, download this particular content. So that's how the chatbot tries to drive a conversation towards its predefined business goal. Again, we live in the world of data. And wherever there's data, we have to understand what the data is telling you about. We have to understand what's the benefit of whatever actions we are doing. And all those things can be done with analytics. We have deep analytical dashboards available, which the store owner can actually look to understand how the chatbot is currently functioning. So in these dashboards, they can see how many users came to the site, how many sessions were there, which countries did they come from, and everything else. So this is just a demo site. That's why we are not seeing too much of information here, but this can get pretty populated. So having the ability to analyze the performance of your chatbot is very important so that you can then do corrective measures if you feel the chatbot is not performing as per your expectations. So that's where we kind of help here. We made it pretty easy for a store owner to integrate this chatbot to the website. We just made sure that there's one single line of code. For example, here, if you are on a Shopify store, you actually don't have to do anything. You just have to click on this button to publish or unpublish the chatbot from the Shopify store. But if you really want to do it manually, this is the one line of code that you have to click on to actually embed the chatbot in your Shopify store. So this is one of the ways that we have made sure that working with a chatbot is as simple as it can get. We understand that store owners are everywhere and they want to have a presence in all these various locations. So we have created chatbots for on this particular, all the different marketplaces. So Shopify Marketplace, WooCommerce, WordPress, Zendesk. We're coming up with BigCommerce, Webly, and Sika Marketplace. That's meant for vets and dentists. So primarily, wherever the store owners have some vested interest for running their own business, the Syra AI chatbot is available in those marketplaces so that the store owner can actually use us. I'm very happy to tell you that more than 100 plus sites are actually currently using the Syra chatbot solely from our Shopify chatbot in the marketplace. We have made sure that our Syra AI chatbot also functions across many channels. Currently, it's available out of the box on the Facebook Messenger, Slack, Skype, and mobile apps. Since the whole thing is API based, you can also build your own. Over here, you see how easy it is to integrate it to your Facebook channel or to your Skype or Slack channels. And if needed, you can also build your own. This whole thing is completely AI based. So you could just use the AI and build your own chatbot, which uses the natural language platform at the back end. So it's that easy. Currently, we have out of the box domain modules for online retail, of course, providing support services using Zendesk, taxation, which I just showed you, immigration. We're also coming up with healthcare, travel, social causes, and other things. By that, what this means is, now let's say if you're running an online retail store. So all that you have to do is you have to just select this domain model of online retail, and it will understand a lot of things that are currently used in an online retail business. But of course, it still needs some training so that it's customized to your particular store and can respond back about your stores, about the products being sold at your store. So with that, I I'm very happy to tell you that since we have launched this, we feel that at this point, given everything that's going on in the world, we want to make it for free. This also helps us to understand the traction and how people are using the product, which also gives us some feedback as we see what features are getting used more, what features are not being used, what are there more suggestions, so that we grow the product accordingly. Right now, I have these links which shows about where all our Sara chatbot is currently available. And I'm very happy to let you know that the traction has been fantastic. With that, I open the webinar for any meet or for any conversations that you might have. Please feel free to ask me any questions. You can talk over the phone, or over the chat, the Zoom, or you could ask me a question on the Q&A session or the chat box. I'm fine with everything. And all the people who are registered for our webinar, they will actually get link to this deck, and also free access to the Sara chatbot too. And also free access to the Sara chatbot too. Okay, looks like there are no questions. So I thank you for joining the webinar today. We'll be having more such webinars on a regular basis so that we could update all of you about the latest and the greatest features that we are having, that we are coming up with. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye.